Hello and welcome back to Mantra College. We're continuing to read the sacred text of India, Bhagavad Gita. I hope you liked the previous presentation by Harinamananda Das on the text number 15, chapter 1 of Bhagavad Gita as it is. So I hope he will be back soon to share more of his knowledge, and we can ask him some questions. If you have any questions, write them in the comments below to that video, the previous video. And although we are saying this is sacred text of India, actually Arjuna is asking all the questions not only on his own behalf, but also on behalf of every living being on this planet, every human being, even every animal. But at least as we go along, you can see each one of us, we can find something really deep, really meaningful, that really relates to the current issues that we're facing and how to solve them. And we might think, wow, this was really spoken to me, as if like Krishna knew what kind of doubts I had. So let's continue. That's something to look forward to. Text 16 to 18. Ananta Vijayam Raja Kunti Putro Yudhishthira Nakulak Sahadevascha Sugosha Mani Pushpakau Kashyascha Parameshvasa Shikandi Cha Maharatha Drishtadyumna Viratascha Satyakishcha Parajita Drupada Dropadeyascha Sarvasha Prithivipate Sobhadrascha Mahabahu Shankan Dadmu Prithak. King Yudhishthira, the son of Kunti, blew his conch shell, the Ananta Vijaya, and Nakula and Sahadeva blew the Sugosha and Manipushpaka. The great archer, the king of Kashi, the great fighter, Shikandi, Drishtadyumna, Virata, the unconquerable Satyaki, Drupada, the sons of Draupadi, and others, O king, such as the mighty armed son of Subhadra, all blew their respective conch shells. Purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. Sanjaya informed King Dhritarashtra very tactfully that his unwise policy of deceiving the sons of Pandu and endeavoring to enthrone his own sons on the seat of the kingdom was not very laudable. The signs already clearly indicated that the whole Kuru dynasty would be killed in that great battle. Beginning with the grandsire Bhishma, down to the grandsons like Abhimanyu and others, including kings from many states of the world. All were present there, and all were doomed. The whole catastrophe was due to King Dhritarashtra, because he encouraged the policy followed by his sons. Wow, can you imagine the scale of the war? Prabhupada writes, the kings from many states of the world were present there to fight that fight. Because actually during that time, King Dhritarashtra, he was the king of the whole world. Yes, everywhere, not just India. So there were many states of one government, but there was only one government. And different kings of different states, they were under the rule of Dhritarashtra. And Duryodhana was kind of the acting king, because he was the son of Dhritarashtra. And Dhritarashtra was blinded, because it was mentioned before, he was blind from birth, and not only that he couldn't see physically, but he also was blinded spiritually. That means he didn't have spiritual knowledge, and that created all the chaos that is happening now. All these people had to die because the king didn't have spiritual understanding of the spirit soul, of who they are, what is the purpose of life. So the king was not educated in this sense, and because he was not educated, his sons like Duryodhana were not also educated, and they created all this chaos. So there was no other way but to continue with that fight. But here you see the signs. So why we're reading about how is this relevant? All different great personalities blowing their conch shells. How does that have to do with the spiritual knowledge? Well, the idea is they are all these great personalities on the battlefield, right? Firstly, because they're fighting Pandavas. Pandavas, when they blew their conch shell, like Yudhishthira, Arjuna, Bhima, Nakula, and Sahadeva, when they blew their conch shells, the sound indicated that they're gonna be victorious. The sound was so strong, so pure, so powerful. So that only indicated, that they're gonna be victorious. And then all of the other names are indicating all the great kings who unfortunately have to die because, this chaos created by, one person basically, Dhritarashtra. He was not educated spiritually. Text 19. Sagoshodara dartarashtranam hridayani vyadarayat nabascha prithivim chaiva tumulo vyanunadayan. The blowing of these different conch shells became uproarious, vibrating both in the sky and on the earth. It shattered the hearts of the son of Dhritarashtra. Purport. When Bhishma and the others on the side of Duryodhana blew their respective conch shells, there was no heart breaking on the part of the Pandavas. Such occurrences are not mentioned, but in this particular verse it is mentioned that the hearts of the sons of Dhritarashtra were shattered by the sounds vibrated by the Pandavas' party. This is due to the Pandavas and their confidence in Lord Krishna. One who takes shelter of the Supreme Lord has nothing to fear, even in the midst of the greatest calamity. So, is this war more dangerous than the current situation, the current pandemic of coronavirus? Of course, there were like millions and millions. I think there's 6 million people died in that war. So, maybe more. So, it was just, disaster, chaos. So many people died in that war. And it was way more dangerous, if you're going to fight, you're either gonna be victorious or you're gonna lose. So actually, no one survived in that war except the 5 Pandavas. But the reason why they survived is because they took a full shelter of God. And that will be indicated later on. Even though God, Krishna himself, he took a stance that he's not gonna fight in the battle, he's gonna be a charioteer for Arjuna. Just the presence or his presence on the right side, actually, because he was present on the side of the Pandavas, that indicated that the Pandavas were doing the right thing. Krishna wanted them to fight, and that will be explained later on why, and so on. But in this verse particularly, it is explained that the hearts of the sons of Dhritarashtra were broken and shattered to pieces when these different conch shells became uproarious. So we can see the significance of blowing these conch shells in this particular context. Text 20. Adha vyavasthitan drishtva dartarashtran kapidvaja pravrite shastra sampate danurudyamya pandava hrishikesham tada vakyam idamaha mahipati. At that time, Arjuna, the son of Pandu, seated in the chariot bearing the flag marked with Hanuman, took up his bow and prepared to shoot his arrows. O king, after looking at the sons of Dhritarashtra drawn in military array, Arjuna then spoke to Lord Krishna these words. So why I made comparison to current situation is because it's very fearful, right? But Prabhupada in previous verse, in the end of the purport, he says, for those who take shelter of the Supreme Lord, they have nothing to fear. So, obviously, even the most enthusiastic atheist can propose different things about God and that He doesn't exist. Just the mere fact that he talks about it and puts so much energy into it, that something doesn't exist. If that thing doesn't exist, why to spend all your energy, all your life trying to defy this idea? So that's one question. The other question is, when the leaders of the atheistic school make different proposals about God, and when they get into some tough situation, for example, they're on the plane and the plane starts falling, even them, they start praying to God, because they have no other way, you know? They have no other way. That's their last hope. And that's our last hope. But it shouldn't be last, it should be first hope. So, in Prabhupada writes, the battle was just about to begin. It is understood from the above statement that the sons of Dhritarashtra were more or less disheartened by the unexpected arrangement of military force by the Pandavas, who were guided by the direct instructions of Lord Krishna on the battlefield. The emblem of Hanuman on the flag of Arjuna is another sign of victory, because Hanuman cooperated with Lord Rama in the battle between Rama and Ravana, and Lord Rama emerged victorious. So Rama is another name for Krishna. That's why we chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So Krishna means the person who is all attractive. So that's the name of God. He is the all attractive. There is only one person who can be all attractive. I can be attractive to some people, but not everyone. Some people don't like me. And for some people I'm ugly, for some people I may be handsome. So, I'm not all attractive. Neither is any individual person is all attractive. But Krishna, just the name itself indicates that that person is all attractive. So there's only one person who is all attractive, is God. And Rama means also Krishna's name, the name of God. Rama means the source of all pleasure and happiness and bliss. Rama. So Lord Rama was present on this earth way before Lord Krishna. So that what Prabhupada refers to this is the reference point. He is referring to Lord Rama. He was the king of the whole earth, and there was a battle between one demon, Ravana, who had his own kingdom, and he didn't want to follow Rama's order, and he did some activities. He tried to steal Lord Ram's wife, and so Rama had to fight. And Rama had a great devotee, monkey devotee, disciple, kind of servant. His name was Hanuman. He was a monkey. And so Prabhupada writes, the emblem of Hanuman on the flag of Arjuna is another sign of victory, because Hanuman cooperated with Lord Rama in the battle between Rama and Ravana, and Lord Rama emerged victorious. So Hanuman was on the side of Lord Rama. It kind of shows that Hanuman always picks the right side, and Hanuman was here on the flag of Arjuna. So now both Rama and Hanuman were present on the chariot of Arjuna to help him. So means Rama as Krishna was present, and Hanuman was present on the flag. Lord Krishna is Rama himself, and wherever Lord Rama is, his eternal servitor Hanuman and his eternal consort Sita, the goddess of fortune, are present. Therefore, Arjuna had no cause to fear any enemies whatsoever. And above all, the Lord of the senses, Lord Krishna, was personally present to give him direction. Thus, all good counsel was available to Arjuna in the matter of executing the battle, in such auspicious conditions, arranged by the Lord for his eternal devotee, lay the signs of assured victory. This is amazing. We are reading this text, and just the whole battle begins. There's going to be a full conversation about fight or not to fight, and why should we fight, and how is this relevant to us, to our present day and our internal battle. But nevertheless, we know that all the spoilers actually here in the beginning. And that's the difference between spiritual literature and material literature. Material literature, there should be some mystery, there should be some introduction, who is going to win, there should be some question, and which results in culmination, and then you get the answer to the question, like, wow, these guys won, and then there was a whole fight and everything. So if you read Mahabharata, you can get that sense. You don't know who's going to win. And but in the transcendental literature, it's not about who is going to win. It's not about the win at all. It's about what's right to do, what should we do. How do you know if you're fighting for the right cause? How do you know if you're fighting on the right side, on the side of light, not of darkness, right? And yeah, generally, is there a reason to fight? Is there a reason to deal with our problems, or do we have to just fix them quickly? If I have a problem with my partner, do we just divorce and I go away and that's how I fix the problem? If I have a problem with my boss, I just resign and leave the job. Is this the solution? If something hurts in my body, if I have a sore throat, I take a painkiller. Does that resolve the problem? Of course not. So, but that's current consciousness of the society, of the modern society, that we are looking for the quick fix. But that literature is much, much deeper, because it takes us to the cause of the problem, right? So, in a sense, in a historical sense, sorry for the spoiler alert, but Arjuna and Pandavas, they're gonna win the battle. But that's not the point at all of Bhagavad Gita. It may look like it may look like the external reason, but the internal reason is different, and we will find out what's the internal reason, what Arjuna is gonna say in the next episode. So stay tuned. I hope you like our discussions. Write your questions in the comments below. We'll try to answer them, and yeah, that will facilitate the discussion. So subscribe to my channel, Mantra College, give us a like, and I will see you in the next episode. Hare Krishna.